Hello, I'm Emily.
I'm Taryn.
And I'm Sam.
And we chose to do our safety analysis project on automated dispensing cabinets. In 2007, more than 94% of hospitals use this technology, with 56% of those using ADCs as the primary means of drug distribution. ADCs meaning automated dispensing cabinets. Nurses perform the majority of transactions related to ADCs, as we've seen in our clinical rotations, and thus we play a key role in ensuring their safe use.
Their benefits include improved nursing access to medications, more efficient medication billing and inventory management, and a greater medication security.
So as Taryn just mentioned, those are some of the pros that come along with using the automatic dispensing system. But along with that, there is still a possibility for medication administration errors, and that's going to be what we're focusing on in this specific video. In this video, we're going to first act out a scenario where the nurse makes a medication error using the Pyxis. Then we're going to demonstrate our poster and our recommendations. And then we're going to end by redoing the patient scenario and implementing our recommendations for safer medication administration. Okay, so I'm going to be demonstrating the improper way to use an automatic dispensing system, and I'm going to be the nurse in the med room getting the medications, and I have 2 orders to administer medications at 9 o'clock, and I'm just going to show you really quickly my orders for the first patient.
Which appear on the screen.
And then this is the orders for the second patient. Okay, so, oh my gosh, what this is, I'm already 10 minutes late. Okay, guys, just gotta get these meds real quick. Okay, so first one, Coumadin. Wow, that's really weird. This order says 10 pills. That seems like a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, well, guess I just gotta go with what the doctor says. But I've never given 10 pills of Coumadin. Okay. And this one, I'm totally, and I have to do that catheter. Okay, that's good. Okay, second patient, this one. Okay, well, that's weird.
So what we just saw was a scenario that really happened and resulted in a medication error. So what do you guys think went wrong in that scenario? What do you think were the problems with the nurse's use of the Pyxis?
Well, I think for one, when the nurse was really rushed. She was already behind on her medications, so she wasn't performing her 5 writes and 3 checks properly. But also I think when she suspected that something was wrong, like when she was like, oh, there's 10 pills, and they were given 10 pills of Coumadin, she shouldn't have just not questioned the order and just put them in her pocket.
Right. Yeah, because that many pills, it seems like maybe there was no communication with pharmacy, and maybe nurses get too reliant on this sort of technology and forget that they need to collaborate with pharmacy and ensure that medication errors are checked with pharmacy before they just grab them and administer them, especially if they have questions.
And we also noticed that she took the medications and just put them in her one pocket, where that can become an issue where you get very confused as to what medications go to each patient. She wasn't aware of that. She didn't go back and forth to the Pyxis line to say, this is for patient 1, these pills are for patient 2.
Right, because many errors can be reduced according to the ISMP if nurses only withdraw medications for a single patient at one time. And so what the nurse did in that scenario was she withdrew 2 different medications for different patients and put them all in her pocket, which could be a major source of an error.
Yeah, and I think the other problem too, if you guys noticed, was actually on the first patient's order that contributed to the mistake, where the order had a trailing 0, where it said 5.0 milligrams of Coumadin, and so that contributed to the nurse thinking that it was 10 times the dose that she was supposed to give, hence the 10 pills. So there's definitely a lack of communication there as well.
Yeah, and as I said, pharmacy and nurses need to work together as far as verifying orders and making sure that these very large like Pyxis stations are stocked appropriately, so there's no risk of not having enough medication or pulling the wrong amount of medication. And so I think, yeah, that's one of the biggest safety concerns.
And along with always communicating with pharmacy, it's always important to communicate with our doctors as well. Even though we are rushed on time at times, it's important to take the time to call our doctor, because our role is patient safety always, number one.
Yeah, and as nurses, as sort of the last line, we are the last check before the medication reaches the patient. So even if we have this technology that gives us so many advantages, it saves time and it saves money, and it probably does reduce errors in a lot of ways, we have to make sure that we use it appropriately.
So if you guys want to pull up the poster, we're going to kind of go straight into talking about our poster and some of our interventions and rationales for reducing medication errors by using a Pyxis, or from using a Pyxis.
Okay, so at this time we would ask that if you're watching that you pull up a poster that our group uploaded to Blackboard. And with this poster we summarize some of the key problems related to ADC use and some recommendations for safer practice along with rationales. And we developed this from evidence that we got from our research. And we also kind of created something called the 3 C's, which stand for check, collaborate, and correct, as sort of a way to remember some of the important safe practices for ADC use. And so for our recommendations for safer practice, I actually got a lot of these from the ISMP recommendations for safe ADC use, which was published in 2008. And so for the first point, which is collaborate, we know that pharmacists and nurses are key stakeholders. And so we want to use, one of our first recommendations is using pharmacy profiled ADCs. And what are pharmacy profiled ADCs, Taryn?
So the use of profiled ADCs ensures that the pharmacist will validate the new medication order in the pharmacy computer system prior to medication being dispensed by the nurse.
Right, so the nurse can't take the medication out of the drawer before a pharmacy has reviewed the order and made sure that it's correct and safe. And so another key on the collaboration point is that we want to work with pharmacy to establish defined procedures for restocking ADCs and ensuring appropriate inventory. And why do you think we should, what's the rationale behind that?
So overstocking the medications predisposes to wrong dose errors, specifically overdoses, while stocking drugs that are not routinely predisposed to wrong drug errors.
Right, so we want pharmacy we want to be working with them, making sure that we have enough medication, we don't have too much, and we have the appropriate medication for patients on our floor. And so now going on to check and correct. We want to make sure that we develop a check process prior to dispensing, and we don't want to just rely on this technology and forget that we need to use our 5 rights and 3 checks. And so one of our first recommendations is that we want to make sure that ADCs are located in an area without interruptions or distractions.
So the ISMP recommends that you create a sterile cockpit, which is an environment that is adapted from an airline industry. And this is practices to eliminate errors or distractions for the nurse while she is drying up her medications from the Pyxis machine.
Right, so as opposed having a Pyxis in a med room where there's no distractions as opposed to a hallway will help reduce medication errors from that. And then also we want to make sure that we are removing medications from the ADC for one patient at a time. And what's the rationale behind this, Taryn? Why do you think that's important?
Well, we want to make sure that we're putting one set of medications per patient at one time, because of what we saw earlier in our video was with Sam's demonstration of pulling multiple medications at one time, to where medication error is probably going to happen once she reaches her patient's rooms, because she is probably going to be confused on what medication goes to what patient. And like we said earlier, it's always very important that we make sure that our patient's safety is number one, even when we are rushed and even when we're not sure with the medication order is, we need to call our doctor
Yeah.
or our pharmacist.
Yeah, the ISMP really emphasizes this, that we need to remove only one medication at a time because of how easily those could get confused. And also because of the transport. I mean, we could be going to the Pyxis to multiple rooms at a time and easily get those mixed up. I'm going to re-demonstrate the scenario that was presented earlier in this video, but incorporating some of this best practices that we've discussed in this presentation. Okay, I'm in the med room and it's all free of distractions. It's nice and quiet in here. There's no people in the hallway here to interrupt me while I'm doing med administration. Okay, oh gosh, it's late. I've got 2 patients I need to pull meds for. Well, I probably should be safe and just get meds for one patient at a time. So I'll get meds for this patient first. Okay, so, all right, so I'm verifying my patient here, PAP patient, date of birth 6/21, okay, no apologies. And so his order is for Coumadin. Oh, it's telling me 50 milligrams. That doesn't sound right. Okay, it says pull 10 pills. Well, that's, I question that order. I'm going to call pharmacy. Maybe they haven't verified it yet.
Pharmacy, how can I help you?
Hello, my name is Emily. I'm a registered nurse on the medical oncology floor calling regarding PAP patient and a medication order for Coumadin. My record here says administer 10 tablets or 50 milligrams, and I just need verification of that.
Oh, the order, let me check that for you. My order that I have here says 2 pills at 5 milligrams of Coumadin for this patient.
So 2.5 milligram pills
Yes.
for a PAP patient? Okay.
Yes, I'm going to verify that and then send that up to you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, bye-bye. All right, well, I'm glad I got that verified. Okay. All right, now the right order is showing up here. I'm glad I was able to verify that with pharmacy. Okay, so I'm going to do my 5 rights here. So PAP patient, birth, Coumadin 5 milligrams at 8 a.m. And this is a PO medication, so I'm going to pull this med. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to come back and do my second patient so I don't get these mixed up. All right.
Okay, so just to wrap up our video, as you've seen from our video, even though automatic dispensing systems are helpful in medication administration and organization and save the hospital money, there are still possible errors that can occur when nurses are not utilizing them correctly.
Right. I mean, it's so easy to think that all this technology, this sophistication that we have with barcode scanning or computerized order entry, that we could be free of errors, but that's not true. It depends, especially with nurses, on how we use this technology. We really need to be responsible with how we do that by continuing to collaborate with pharmacy, because I feel like the use of ADCs has really decentralized medication administration and sort of maybe perhaps reduce some of that collaboration that we really need to implement to ensure safe medication administration.
And as we saw with Emily's demonstration, how easy and quick it was for her to pick up the phone, call pharmacy to get that order verified.
Yeah, working together, and also to, adjust our workflow with ADCs and not kind of go through some of those common loopholes by like taking 2 medications at a time for a patient, and so not letting that, I guess, make us, not relying so much on technology to
Rely on each other as a team.
Yeah,
Rely on pharmacy. Rely on
right,
the doctors that we have and the orders that are given.
Right, and although it makes our work faster, we still can't forget some of the fundamentals that, like the 5 rights that are gonna, prevent errors.
And as nurses, our number one goal is patient safety, and like Emily said earlier in the video, we're that last check. So Definitely making sure, like, if there's any questions ever, even if it's not relating to the Pyxis, but any questions ever about medications, the dosing, or the route, definitely using that collaboration and calling and making sure that our patients are getting the correct medications.
So in conclusion, we hope that you guys enjoyed our little demonstration and the joys and benefits of having a Pyxis, but also, you know, becoming relying on that, and the negative effects that that could have on our patients if we don't also use critical thinking skills, which have been emphasized.
Don't let Pyxises make you get lazy with medication administration. They're helpful, but they are not infallible.
Thanks for watching our video.
Thanks for watching.